There's a moment in almost every man's life when he gets close to someone, not just physically, emotionally, and then out of nowhere, something shifts. He starts pulling away, maybe slowly, maybe suddenly. He stops texting as much. He avoids deep conversations. He's not as present as he used to. He may not even know why he's doing it, but it's happening. And here's the part that's hard to admit. It's not always about her. Sometimes it's about what's happening inside of you. This video isn't about judgment. It's not about blaming women either. It's about telling the truth. And as a man, you deserve to know what's really going on when you pull away after getting close. Because once you understand it, you stop sabotaging connections that were real. Let's talk. Why men pull away? It's not what you think. Let's get something clear right away. Pulling away doesn't always mean you're not interested. It doesn't always mean you've lost attraction. And it definitely doesn't mean you're broken. What it does mean is that you're hitting something deeper. A place inside you that is not used to being seen. See, emotional closeness activates something most men never learn to deal with. Vulnerability. Not the kind that shows up when you're hurt or crying, but the kind that shows up when you are loved. When someone sees your potential, when someone makes you feel safe, when you're not performing or proving yourself and she still chooses you. That's the moment many men start to panic. Not on the outside, but on the inside. There's this voice that whispers, don't lose yourself. Don't get too deep. Don't let her change you. And just like that, you start pulling away. Secondly, is fear of losing freedom. Every man, whether he admits it or not, values freedom. The freedom to think, to act, to be in control of his own space. It's not about being selfish. It's about how we've been wired and raised. Growing up, you probably learned early on to, protect your independence, to fight for your space, to never let anyone define your identity. So what happens when a woman gets close? When she gets past your walls, when she feels like home, when she sees you in a way nobody else has, your subconscious reacts like it's being invaded. Not because she's done anything wrong, but because closeness feels like it might come at a cost. And the cost feels like freedom. This isn't rational. It's not even conscious most of the time. But you feel it. Suddenly your mind finds reasons to pull away. She's getting too attached. I need space. I am not ready for something serious. And underneath all of that is the fear of losing yourself in someone else's world. Thirdly, fear of expectations. Another big reason you pull away after getting close is this. You fear you can't live up to her expectations. Here's what happens. When a woman starts caring for you deeply, she starts believing in you. Sometimes more than you believe in yourself. She sees your potential. She encourages you. She opens herself up emotionally. And somewhere in that process, you start to feel this invisible pressure. Not from her, but from you. A voice inside says, what if I disappoint her? What if I can't be what she thinks I am? What if I open up and then fall short? And instead of confronting that fear, you take the easier route. You retreat. It's not because you don't care. It's not because it's because caring deeply, requires you to rise, to meet someone at the level of emotional honesty they are offering. And most men haven't been trained to go there. Fourthly, the childhood programming. Let's go deeper. Why is vulnerability so difficult for men? Because from a young age, we were taught that emotions equals weakness. You were told to man up, stop crying, be strong, get over it. No one sat you down and said, hey, it's okay to feel overwhelmed. It's okay to need reassurance. No, you learned that being emotional made you less of a man. You learned that being emotional makes you be less of a man. So you became numb or detached or overly logical. And every time something real came along, every time someone got close enough to see your heart, you didn't know what to do with it. So you backed away. Not because you wanted to lose her, but because you never learned how to stay when things go wrong, get real. Fifthly, the emotional backlash. And here's the twist. Pulling away doesn't actually feel good. Not for long. At first, it might feel like relief. You get your space back, your routine, your control. But after a while, something sets in. Emptiness. You start replaying old conversations in your head. You wonder if you pushed away something real. You feel guilt, but you don't know how to explain it. You miss her, but you don't know how to come back. You stay quiet, and that silence eats you. It's at you. Sixth, recognizing your own pattern. The number 16 is recognizing your own pattern. The first step to change is awareness. Ask yourself, do I tend to lose interest once someone starts caring for me deeply? Do I feel uncomfortable when someone sees the part of me I usually hide? Do I associate emotional closeness with losing control? Have I ever ghosted or distanced myself without fully understanding why? If you said yes to any of those, it doesn't make you weak, it makes you honest. And honesty is how you reclaim your power. Now, let me show you how to stay grounded when things, get real. So what do you do when someone gets close and your instinct is to run? Don't act on the feeling. Don't act on the feeling. Observe it. Sit with the discomfort. Ask yourself, what am I actually afraid of right now? Not in a dramatic way, just with curiosity. Because sometimes what you think is fear of being trapped is really fear of being seen. And that's something you can learn to handle with time, patience, and practice. Now start small. Open up gradually. Let someone in a little at a time. Let yourself be seen, even if it feels awkward. And most importantly, stop ghosting your own emotions. When pulling away becomes a pattern, here is the hard truth. If pulling away becomes your pattern, you will never build anything real. Because real connection isn't about perfect timing. It's about showing up, even when it's uncomfortable, even when you don't have all the answers. The more you run every time it gets deep, the less you trust yourself in relationships. And eventually you start believing this lie, that closeness isn't for me, that I am better off alone. And that's not true. That's fear disguised as logic. It's not weak to stay. Let me say this clearly. It's not weak to stay. It's not weak to feel. It's not weak to let someone get close to you. In fact, that's where real strength lives. In the man who doesn't run when it gets real. In the man who doesn't need to dominate or disappear. In the man who can stand in his own emotions and still be grounded. You don't lose yourself by letting someone in. You find a new part of yourself. One that was always there, just waiting to be seen. So, if you have ever pulled away from someone and didn't know why, you're not alone. Every man has been there at some point. What matters is what you do now. Stop abandoning parts of yourself just to feel safe. Stop ghosting women who didn't do anything wrong just because they got close. And stop thinking you're broken because intimacy makes you feel uncomfortable. You're not broken. You're just becoming aware. And awareness is the first step towards freedom. Real freedom. Not freedom from connection, but freedom from the fear of it. If this video hits something deep in you, take a breath. Sit with it. And if you're ready, leave a comment. Tell me if this is a pattern you've seen in yourself. Or maybe something you've only just realized now. And if you want more honest, no BS conversations from men, hit that like button. Subscribe and share this with someone who needs it. Let's change the way we deal with closeness. Not by pretending we don't feel anything, but by learning how to face it without fear. You got this? See you next time.